to the computer. Hi, everyone. This is Kathleen, and I'm here with my good friend Betsy Love. And yes, her name is really Love. Betsy, thank you for joining us. And
I'm
we were just talking before the recording started about how she got into romances, writing. Was an avid reader and a writer, and when she was a kid, and she went on and graduated sigma cum laude.
it was actually magna cum laude. So,
Okay,
which summa cum laude is the very highest. And I
okay.
seriously missed summa cum laude by 2 points. And that's only because I got a B in one class because I forgot to turn in my what do they call them? My annotations for a paper I wrote or a
Oh,
presentation I gave. So
oh
he gave me a
wow.
B. He gave me a B.
Uh,
Otherwise, it would have been summa cum laude. But that's my
yeah,
fault.
yeah. So she was started to tell me about getting into romance, and I said, no, 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 not yet, not yet. So tell me how you got into romance.
Okay, well, so my very first book was a historical, and it was more of an adventure. My second book was a mystery suspense, but both of those books have romantic elements to them. I believe in happily ever afters. All of my books have happily ever afters except for one.
Hmm.
And it was inspired by a true story, and I had to be true to the story, the retelling. So that's why there's not a happily ever after in that one. And that one's written under my pen name of Lizzie Ann. So I love romance. I mean, with a name, last name like Love, what else would I write, right?
How many books do you have out now? How many series do you have?
Okay, I have, let's see, my Dragon Keeper, which is it's actually Mystic's Tale series. That is my young adult, and it is a fantasy. And that's the first series I started with. My second series was a Sweethearts Cafe romance series, and that takes place in the fictitious town of Miracle, Texas. The first book I wrote was a Christmas elf story set in Miracle, Texas. I fell in love with the characters. I fell in love with the town. I knew there was more stories in me. So then I entered a contest um, for an anthology, and it didn't make the anthology, but I was actually happy it didn't make the anthology because this was a novella that was set in Miracle, Texas. And if you sign up for my newsletter, you get this one free, which is kind of a nice bouncing off place to see, what the cafe's about and what the town is like. And I had so much fun writing it that I just kept writing stories. So that was my second series. And I still have two books that are in various stages of completion for that series, and I'll probably keep going. But the third series I have out is called Matched in Miracle. And I wanted to write like an overarching series, like an overarching story that starts here and it goes through this book, this book, this book, this book, and ends with this book. That's the last book I have to write in that series. I've been doing some brainstorming, and I think the guy from book one is going to show up in book 11 and cause all kinds of problems. Um, I love Hallmark Channel. What can I say? So,
Yes. Now, you were actually traditionally published for a while,
yes.
weren't you?
Yes, I have three books that are traditionally published. I've gotten my rights back on all three of them. I republished Identity. It is now called Shattered Identity, which is my mystery suspense. The other one, the historical, is a Book of Mormon novel. And I got the rights back on that. I started reading through it and I went, oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. It's going
I
to
think
take a
all of us have one.
Oh, Actually both of those books were pretty bad. But the thing is now that I've got my rights back, I totally went through and completely redid Shattered Identity, gave it a new title, pretty much a new storyline. I mean, the storyline is still there, but I changed a lot of the elements in the story. And then Soulfire, which is my Book of Mormon novel, I plan to republish that. I'll probably keep the same title, Soulfire, but I don't know. I really like that story, but the writing is crap.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and we all have those first books that we wish we had not released quite so soon, but so I think my writing has vastly improved since then.
Well,
So,
I wouldn't be surprised at all if that was very true, especially with your ability to teach and the fact that you taught your granddaughter how to write a book, if I'm
two
correct.
granddaughters. Yeah,
Two. Oh
two
my
two
gosh.
granddaughters. Yeah.
Oh
So,
wow. So you are passing it on to the next, well, skip a generation, but who knows?
right.
Because when
Well,
did you start writing professionally?
um, well, let's see. My first book, which was Soulfire. That was the first book I wrote. And I wrote that, oh my goodness, probably 20 years ago. And I don't know that I was ever going to do anything with it. I wrote it because I wanted to write it. And I happened to be in Costco to support another author friend of mine who was doing her book launch there. And there was a lady sitting next to her, and she said, "Oh, are you an author too?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "What have you written?" And I said, I have a historical. And she said, "What's it about?" Of course, during the headlight, I didn't have an elevator pitch. It had been years since I'd even looked at it. I said, "It's about a girl." And and it was just, I fumbled over it. It was ridiculous. And she said, "Will you send it to me? We're looking to publish Book of Mormon novels." And I went, "Okay, can I look at it again?" So I went home, did some revisions, and sent it off. And in the meantime, she said, "This needs a lot of work." She said, "But," she said, "I'd like you to keep writing." And oh, I had gotten it rejected by another publisher as well. This was years before I talked to my then publisher. And anyway, she said, "Well, have you written anything else?" And I said, "Well, I have a mystery suspense." And she said, "Ooh, I want to see that too." They picked that one up and published it right away, and that's Shattered Identity. So then I had my good friend Jeanette Rallison, and if you've read anything by Jeanette, she is phenomenal. She has just, her stories are gripping, and she writes across multiple genres. And so she helped me to revise it, and she just bled all over it and said, "Nope, nope, 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 this would never happen. Why does your character smile all the time? This is dire circumstances. She would not be smiling," and apparently my character smiled a lot. I have to watch that. But
Mm-hmm. But
so
you
then
smile a lot.
I guess so. Anyway, so then I revised it, sent it back to my editor, and they published the book, and it did all right. It didn't do as well as Identity, but it did all right. So,
Well,
and
that's
then
good.
so that my first book was published in 2010, and then my
Mm-hmm.
second one in 2011, and then my third one in 2012, and that was the Penny Project. That's the one that doesn't have the happily ever after. And the I went with a different publishing company, and they were so good to me, just so good. When I asked for my rights back, they just sent them right back to me. They published my, oh, I have another series I totally forgot about. It's my science fiction Star Bride series. And I have 5 books in that series, and they published 4 of them. And then I asked for my rights back on all my books, and I self-published 5 in that series. And they don't sell well. And so I don't push them. I have another book planned for that series, but unless they start selling like hotcakes, I'm not going to finish the series. So
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
I didn't leave it as a huge cliffhanger, but I did leave it a little bit, so that book 5 would lead right into book 6. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
if it happens, it happens. If not, I'm not worried about it.
Now, do you sell not only from Amazon, because I know you at least do Amazon, but do you
Mhm.
sell from your own website also?
I don't. My books are pretty much all there. I still have to put a couple of my last books up. Sorry, I keep bumping my computer. But all my books are linked to Amazon. So that's where my books are. I tried going wide, and I get more pages read with Kindle Unlimited than I do with going through draft to digital. So,
Yeah. I have an acquaintance. He's writes Regencies, and he only goes through Amazon because
mhm.
of Kindle Unlimited, and because that is his main income is from Kindle Unlimited.
Right, right.
So
And
I
yeah.
totally understand.
My last series, the one that I just have, the one more book, I set those at 99 cents. I won't ever do that again either. They're short reads, but I could have written, like, let's see, each book is 15,000 words at least. And my last one was 30,000. And so I'm thinking I could have sold these books in clumps and made more money, because 35 cents a book is just no bueno. Whereas if I
Hmm.
had lumped 3 or 4 of them together, I could have made closer to $2 or $3 a piece on them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
and spent the same amount of work.
That is fact. I know I just wrote a couple of novellas, but they are actually in anthologies, so I have to wait a while till I pull them out and put them out. Some of them, one of them, I think will just be like you, a freebie, but
Uh-huh.
the other
Uh-huh.
one, because it'll be a series. It's like a beginning of a series, like you mentioned your
Right.
one book. So
Right.
I totally understand that. Now, what are your plans? Where do you think you're going to go from this? Because I know you're a goal setter and and you
Big
reach
time.
those, yeah, you reach those goals. So what's your goal for 2025?
Well, I've got 6 books lined up to finish this year. And I'm not going to push myself as hard as I did last year. Last year was just crazy insane. So, of the 6 books I want to publish, one is already sitting with my editor. The other one I just finished, the third book in my fantasy. I was reading it to my husband, was finding little things I needed to tweak. And so I'm going to go back through that one more time before I contact my cover designer. And and then I've got 2 more that are in various stages of completion. So I've got 2 books ready to go. I've
Mm-hmm.
got 2 that are in various stages of completion. One that I need to brainstorm, and that's the final book in this last series. And then and as far as publishing, I I don't know which book to do next. I might revisit that historical. I'm not sure. But I really want to delve into audiobooks. And so my son helped me set up a studio, and I've been reading some chapters on my YouTube channel. But that's where I want to go, is I want to get into audiobooks. I've got 33 published titles. Well, I will have, actually, I'll have 34 once I get these other 2 books out, published titles. And so I want to go back and start narrating them. And I'll probably start with my Matched in Miracle series, because they're short and it's a nice way to jump into narrating, because I've never really done it before. I am a theater teacher, so I know the basics, but it's different when you're live and on stage as opposed to sitting in front of a microphone and
Oh
just
yeah.
talking to the wall. It's
Yeah.
different.
I tried doing it and my voice gave out.
Oh
I
no.
yeah, I didn't lose it completely, but it changed. It went from like this level to even more gravelly.
Oh no.
So so and I stumbled over my own words that were simple. So I know that that is something I will have to invest in the economy and find somebody a job.
There you go. I'll
um,
narrate your book.
yeah,
Oh no, I
I
won't narrate your book. We already had this discussion.
yeah, but
You write on it, you write in a different heat level
genre,
than I do.
yeah, yeah,
So,
and it's a I don't know anyone here because for the listeners, Betsy lives and I live just a few miles apart up in the White Mountains of Arizona in a town called Sholo. But it's up here, I haven't met anybody who actually does write my genre. I
yeah.
mean, they might write romance science fiction, but it doesn't deal with alien and human interaction with
Well,
love
mine
and
do.
developing. They do?
Mine do. Yeah, but they are a whole different heat level than yours. Mine are
That
if
is
Hall
true.
yeah, if Hallmark wrote science fiction, that would be my book. So,
Actually, did you know that Harlequin does? And they
Harlequin
have,
does
right, science fiction, and it is without heat. Some they have some that is without heat and some with heat. Just saying.
something to look into.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because from what I understand, both Hallmark and Harlequin are very good to their authors. So,
I tried Hallmark, but they only want books if they're unpublished.
mm-hmm.
So, because I wanted to pitch The Miracle of Joy, which was my Christmas novella in my Sweetheart series. And I did write a screenplay. It was not rejected, or it was rejected. It was not accepted at the Sholo Film Festival. I was a little disappointed, but mostly what I was disappointed in was that I did not get the feedback that I had paid for to submit my novel. And I spoke with the one of the organizers, and she said, "Yeah, you got feedback, but I only got two comments. One was it's not it's what was it? It has potential, and the other one is it's too predictable." And I'm like, "It's a Hallmark. Of course, it's going to be predictable, you
Yeah,
know."
yeah,
So
yeah.
so I wasn't happy with the feedback. I feel like I would like to have had a little more in-depth critique. I've been a judge before for writing conferences, and I'm very detailed about this isn't working and this is why it's not working. This you did really well. This need, I know what a good critique looks like, and I didn't get a good critique, and I was
Mm-hmm.
disappointed. So, but I
And
had another author friend who writes screenplays, and she said, "Send it to me. I'll look at the first couple scenes and give you some feedback." So I still need to do that this year. So,
I know I had the novel I just released, I had someone tell me that it needs to be made into a movie. I don't know, because they change them and you lose control. And
yeah.
I am not a total control freak, but I am about my writing.
Hmm. Well, I would have loved to have seen The Miracle of Joy made into a movie, and I've had several people tell me what a cute movie it would make, and so it's not off my list. I haven't forgotten it, but
Have you sent it to Sherry?
no, I haven't.
I know she's not movie, but she knows people who are.
Yeah, yeah. And the gal who's going to look at my first couple scenes told me to submit it to PureFlix. So, which is what I intend to do after I really clean it up. She taught a class at a writers conference that I just went to last summer, and excellent class. And I got so many pointers and tips that I'm really excited to go back and revisit the script again. So, but
Okay.
I have all these other projects I got to get through first.
Yeah. I just made an acquaintance and I think she's going to be a friend. She's in Mississippi and she is a ghostwriter, a script writer, and an author.
Nice.
And she teams up with another gal on the script writing. I don't know what she charges for that, but if you want, I can pass her information on to you.
Yeah, yeah. It wouldn't
Okay,
hurt to reach out.
yeah.
So,
So isn't this wonderful? We get to do something like this and network at the same time.
yeah, I love it. I love it.
I love it too. I love being a writer. Yes, it's hard work. It's mental work, and sometimes that is far worse than physical
Oh,
on your
it's
body.
exhausting. It's exhausting sometimes.
Hmm.
So, and when you lay down at night and the characters don't shut up, it's like,
No,
I
they
need
don't.
some sleep, people.
I think that's why I end my day between um, 3 and 4, because then when because I get up at 3 or 4 in the morning. So that's a full day. And I go to bed about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And that gives the voices time to calm down. But sometimes they wake me up and I'm in here in my office
Mm-hmm.
typing
Mm-hmm.
away. And then I go back to bed. And it's fun doing that. And it's good that you have such a wonderful rapport with your husband.
Oh, he's
He did the
amazing.
graphic arts for your
Mm-hmm.
grandchildren's books, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, he did. And he's working on one with my grandson. I turned the story over to him, and I said, "This is your baby." And so he's been doing some, excuse me, some illustrations, and they are so cute. It's a story about a dinosaur, and he's calling it Dino Roar, which is what he calls him. I just think he is so stinking cute. He's loved dinosaurs since he was a little tyke. Anyway, he told this whole story to his mother. His mother sent me the story, and I handed it off to my husband. And so my husband drew this dinosaur. My grandson's name is Max, and the character's name in the book is Max. So he drew this dinosaur to look like my Max. And
Oh my gosh.
he's so
Oh,
cute. He's just
oh
so
my
stinking
gosh.
cute.
You you
So
need to give that picture to Jen.
yeah.
For the audience, Jen Rinaldi is an artist and she made a dragon for both Betsy and myself. For me, it was to give to my son, but for Betsy, it was to illustrate her books on with the dragon series that she has going. But and then so that she can make a face because she could do that.
Yep.
That would be really cool. So, where do you see yourself in 2 years?
In 2 years, let's see.
Mhm.
I want to have I want to have 40 books out, 45 books, between 40 and 45 books. I want to have multiple audio books out. Um, Mostly just keep working on my craft. When
Mhm.
I when my eyes get tired of looking at my screen, and I've been having some eyesight problems, I will go into my craft room and make junk journals. So,
Mhm.
for those of you who don't know what they are, they're just made out of cereal boxes filled with tea-dyed paper. They're embellished. They're gorgeous.
Yes,
But
they are.
I work on those, and those are a lot of fun. So I sold one to Leanne Laritzin, who just published her first book, and I actually have it. And my husband did the cover on this one.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful? Walking with
Mm-hmm.
Giants. So
That is
anyways,
gorgeous.
um, so he, yeah, so he, where was I going? Oh, anyway, her daughter is getting ready to leave on a mission. In fact, she's already left. And so mom asked me if I would create a journal for her. And it's about this big and it's got 300 pages in it. So she should have plenty of room to write. I didn't do a whole lot of embellishment on it because I wanted for her to have plenty of room to journal while she's
Mm-hmm.
gone. So,
That's so
but
awesome.
that's what I'm doing in my spare time. I have to craft. I also Zentangle in the morning. It's how
What
I
is
kind of get my brain going.
what is Zentangle?
Oh, I have to show you. Okay, I have a sketchbook. I'm going to have to back up here.
I'll
And
probably recognize it once I see it, but because I think you've shown. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Uh-huh.
I've started adding color to them. Let me see. Let me flip to the ones. I love, love, love this one.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I call
That
this
is gorgeous.
chrysanthemums. And then I just did
Mm-hmm.
these two.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that it just kind of frees my mind and
Mm-hmm.
just gets me, I don't know, in the zone or whatever. I just sit and do that. I listen to my scriptures while I'm tangling, and I'm a very much an audio learner. I retain more by listening than I do by reading, and that's why I love listening to audiobooks. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
I when I bake, when I'm whatever, whenever
Yeah.
I'm not in front of my computer, when I'm crafting, I'll listen to an audiobook. And I've discovered something really cool, and that is Alexa will read your Kindle books to you.
Yeah. So well, Word.
Yeah.
And there's a another new AI that I just discovered. It's called Otter.ai or
Okay.
IO, whatever. And you can dictate to it. And it will,
Yeah.
like right now, it's in the background analyzing how we're speaking.
Nice.
So
So you'll have
I'm
an
playing
automatic
with it.
transcript.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just playing with it to see if it's something I want, if it isn't.
Mhm.
And I just think it's exciting, some of the new things that are coming out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But our time is about up. But I wanted you to please tell me and tell the audience how to get hold of you. And for the
Okay.
audience, it's going to be written also on the screen so that you can pause and jot it down. But I want her to tell you how you can get hold of her.
My website is betsylove.com. And there'll be a pop-up to sign up for my newsletter. And if you sign up for my newsletter, I send you 3 free ebooks. I send you the novella that's part of the Sweethearts Cafe Romance series. I also send you the first book in my Hallmark-esque science fiction book. It's called The Healer's Heart. And then the third book I send you is a historical that literally saved my friend's marriage. And I tell you all about how that came to be. So you have to stick with me for 3 emails to get that book. You can also email me at authorbetsylove@gmail.com. Um, those are the best ways to get a hold of me.
Okay. Thank you, Betsy.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much. And listeners, we had so much fun. We hope that you enjoyed this time with us as much as we did. Until
All right.
next time, have a wonderful day, evening, morning, wherever you are, whatever time it is.
Thank you, Kathleen.
You're welcome, love.